Hello, Player One. Welcome to the Gaming History Club. My name is Gabby.
Hello, and I'm JP. Welcome to our first game lore episode where we'll be bringing you to dig into specific game lore or myth, and we'll find out whether there's a sprinkle of truth in them. A little trigger warning for this one though, Player One. Today's episode might mention violence or death, so feel free to stop here. Otherwise, let's get right into it. This episode is about Pale Luna. Well, nowadays, finding information and consuming technology is so easy. We have the internet, we can find anything on Google, we have our loyal personal assistant right on our fingertips. I don't mean you, Gabby, I mean like ChatGPT, by the
Thank
way.
you for making that clear. Okay, go on.
And you don't even need to leave the comfort of your couch to buy a game that you want. Gone are those days where I have to take my grandma to the city because she's the only one who would buy me a video game back in the day.
Yeah, okay, definitely though, because you can just open up your PC or your console, buy the game right on your fingertips as well from your couch.
Open your console. How would that help you buy a game?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Open the
I don't
console.
know.
Please.
Break it apart. I don't know.
What have you done to our consoles? Anyway, player one, but imagine yourself living in the era where the most common game people play is text adventure or point and click games like King's Quest and Maniac Mansion, where you have to meet face to face with other people to do swap parties to trade games, contained on these 5 1/4 inch floppies labeled with Sharpies. Back in this generation, they're not only doing swapsies for the famous games like the ones we mentioned before, like King's Quest, but there were also people with programming talents who designed their own computer games to be shared within those communities. Think of it like a version of viral videos, but for the 1980s, where if your game is cool enough and fun enough, people might spread the word around and your game might just get famous.
Yeah, but this Pale Luna, on the other hand, was a little bit different. Somehow it was never circulated outside of the San Francisco Bay Area. In fact, most of the ever existing copies are probably buried deep in the sand like those ET Atari games.
I thought we are gonna keep that for a different episode, Gabby.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that
Yeah,
now, are
no,
we?
no more
Okay.
talk about the Atari ET
Okay,
games.
focus. But why is that? Well, Pale Luna was just straight up weird and barely playable. It's like the game was made for people to ditch it in the first place. Whoever programmed this game, they were absolutely not making it for the fame, let me tell you. You'll understand why in a second. Pale Luna is a text adventure game, just like Zork and the Lurking Horror. You know, the one you need to literally type to navigate around the game, and sometimes you don't even have any graphics, so you might navigate in your imagination instead. For example, you need to type go left to walk to the left side of the room you're in. Then the game will tell you there's a door in front of you. What do you want to do? Then you can type kick door or something like that. But Zork and the Lurking Horror were cool games. Pale Luna, on the other hand, is kind of not. When you boot up the game, you as the player will be presented with an almost completely blank screen with a text saying, you are in a dark room, moonlight shines through the window, there is gold in the corner, along with a shovel and a rope. There is a door to the east. Command? Question mark. The only command the game would accept were pick up gold, pick up shovel, pick up rope, open door, go east. So basically, you pick up all of the inventory you have in that room, and then you open that door that is in the room. And you can go east, as per the direction. Well, I guess it kinda makes sense so far.
But after you put in those commands, the game progressed and now it shows reap your reward. Pale Luna smiles at you. You are in a forest. There are paths to the north, west, and east. Command? So this is where things get a little bit funky. If you type go west or go east, the game will just freeze. And it will freeze your entire computer as well, so you would have to hard reboot your entire system. What a pain. The problem is, how would you know it was because you typed the wrong answer or the game was just unplayable anyway, like maybe programmed wrong or something?
Yeah, true.
And at this point, player one, I think you get it why people just simply give up to play this game, usually at this stage. But yes, go north is the only acceptable answer at this point.
So, remember at the start, you did pick up the gold, shovel, and rope, right? Other than the go north command that JP said just now, the only non directional commands that the game would take that doesn't cause your system to crash are use gold, which will prompt a text saying not here, use shuffle, which will prompt a text not now, and use rope, which will bring up you've already used this. Honestly, what? When the hell did I use the rope? The game programmer is either smoking something that I don't, or just simply don't know how to program a storyline properly at this point.
You're getting very frustrated with this game
I
already.
know, I'm sorry. Well, it is frustrating. Move on.
Apparently, though, not everyone was fed up with this game. A curious lad called Michael Nevins decided he really wanted to see it through. And after spending more than 5 hours to try around different commands, combining multiple commands with each other, restarting his computer a countless times, he finally managed to progress. Now, the game shows these lines of text. Pale Luna smiles wide. There are no paths. Pale Luna smiles wide. The ground is soft. Pale Luna smiles wide. Here. Command? At this point, Nevins had to go through another hour to try around different commands and a series of more commands. And yeah, the game was still buggy and he had to restart his computer each time he made the wrong try. That poor reset button, by the way. But it was worth it, because finally he cracked the code. Dig hole, drop gold, fill hole was the command that let him progress.
Now the game says, congratulations. 40.24248 minus 121.4434. That's the only thing that displayed on the screen now. And the game stops there. No further command you can input. A bit underwhelming, don't you think? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of this game? It's displaying numbers at the end. Probably Nevins felt the same way at this point. So when seeing those numbers on his screen, he's pretty sure those lines refer to latitude and longitude. So he picked up his map, had a look at it, and apparently the coordinates lead to this forest area that surrounds the nearby Lassen Volcanic Park in California. So I don't know what's in his mind at this point, probably hoping there's some sort of real gold as treasure hunt, which, you know what, in this case, kind of pay off the fact he had to reboot his system so many times to get to where he is.
The next day, he decided to actually go out and visit those coordinates. So he took a compass with him, a map, and a shovel. He navigated around the trails, and if you're wondering why he brought a shovel, well, it's just his hunch, but perhaps there would be some gold lying around. At first, he even regretted even bothering bringing a shovel. But as he walked through this trail, he realized that a lot of the movement actually corresponds to the path that he took in game, with the go north, go east, he actually took in the game. Now he started to get a bit giddy instead of regretting bringing the shovel, because who knows, right? There actually is a buried treasure there when he reaches the coordinates. Out of breath from walking and navigating, he was pleasantly surprised when he stumbled into a patch of uneven dirt when he's at his destination. So he started shoveling right away.
Finally, his shovel hit something. It would be an understatement to say that he was taken aback by his finding, because I think it's more like the shock of the century. So, no, no gold, but instead, it was a badly decomposing head of a blonde haired little girl that he found. Nevins promptly reported the situation to the authorities, and eventually they managed to identify the body as one Karen Paulson, an 11-year-old girl reported missing to the San Diego Police Department a year and a half prior. Efforts were made to track down the programmer of Pale Luna because, come on now, of course, he must have known something or even had something to do with the case. But with the nature of nearly anonymous legal gray area of how the software swapping communities operate, it just led to many dead ends. The game became sought after, highly sought after actually, and collectors have been known to offer upwards of six figures for an authentic copy of the game. Unfortunately, the rest of Karen Paulson's body was never found.
But fortunately for us, Player One, the story is completely fictional. No Karen Paulson has been harmed, or at least we believe that it is fictional. This story came up in August 2011, posted as a creepypasta and credited to Mikhail Honoridas. For those who have never heard of creepypasta, a creepypasta is a horror-related legend which has been shared around the internet. It has become a catch-all term for any horror content posted on the internet, actually. They're usually pretty brief, user-generated, paranormal stories that are intended to frighten the readers. User full underscore speed underscore dancer said in the creepy gaming subreddit, I would only like to comment that Pale Luna is not a game. It's a creepypasta about a game. The game never actually existed, and just like most classic creepypastas, this story can be traced back to 4chan's export. If a game does exist now, someone made it according to the description in the story, not vice versa. But in any case, we'll leave a link in the source if you want to read around the thread, together with the link to the Creepypasta wiki, where you can read the entire story yourself.
What's really interesting about Pale Luna is how people theorize to dig into the story a little bit more. So, within the same thread post in Reddit, user Zafrehu said, anyways, it definitely hints that the maker of the game killed Karen Paulson. With the part about the rope, you've already used this, implying that the ropes were used to kill her or tie her up. The gold probably refers to her blonde hair. The use gold command and reap your reward have some really unpleasant hints as to what the murderer slash main character in the story did with Paulson's remains. So, user Zevrahu went on by saying that there are speculations, the phrase Pale Luna smiles wide are an anagram, but he's not sure what to make of it.
In the same thread, Alex Hayden also has an idea that perhaps it is an anagram, and he shortlisted a few possibilities of uncovering it, such as Paulson misallied, indicating Paulson made a mistake by trusting the killer. Lame Paulson mules die, where lame indicates paralyzed, mules meaning cry, and die, well, just means die. And lead Paulson miles. Somehow, this one would make the most sense given you're being led by directions upon directions in the game, but sadly still not quite working according to user Alex Hayden because there are still leftover letters, which are I and W.
So I remember that user full underscore speed underscore dancer say that if Pale Luna exists now, it means someone made it according to the creepypasta. Well, Late Night Tom uploaded in itch.io, a platform to find and share indie games, claiming that they found the physical copy of the game and uploaded it in the platform. They state in the game info, Pale Luna is a creepy game that for many years was believed to be fictional, but after years of searching, we found a physical copy of the game. So Late Night Tom basically claimed that they purchased from an owner of an old video game and movie shop in San Francisco back in 2020, then managed to find a floppy disk drive to confirm that it indeed is a copy of the mythical game. So, yeah, we don't know whether that's a real one or not.
So, what do you think, Player One? Do you think there's more to Pale Luna than just a mere creepypasta? Or you don't care whether it's fictional or not because, man, it's creepy either way, right?
Yeah, also, what do you think of this game lore episode, Player One? Do you have any more lores and myths you'd like us to dig into? Share with us and drop us a message on our website, gaminghistory.club. New episodes of Gaming History Club are released every other Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe and follow us on our social media We're on Instagram and Facebook as Gaming History Club.
We wish you a happy, spooky Halloween, Player One, and come back in a couple of weeks when we're getting back straight up into historical facts, exploring the history of emulation. See ya.